Welcome to this special update on the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict. Today, we'll break down the latest developments, the human impact on both sides, and what this could mean for the future. We'll also take a look at how the international community is responding. Let's get into it. Over the past few days, tensions between Israel and Hamas have escalated dramatically. The latest round of violence erupted after Hamas launched a series of rocket attacks into Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. In response, Israel has carried out airstrikes targeting Hamas military infrastructure in Gaza. This isn't the first time violence has flared between these two, but the intensity of the current conflict has many fearing a full-scale war. Both sides are suffering, with civilian casualties on the rise in Gaza and residents in Israel living in constant fear of rocket attacks. In Gaza, the humanitarian situation is becoming dire. Israeli airstrikes have hit key infrastructure, leaving large parts of the territory without power, clean water, or medical supplies. Hospitals are overwhelmed as they treat those wounded in the bombings. Residents are caught in the crossfire with nowhere to go. Here's what one aid worker on the ground had to say. "The situation is catastrophic. We are running out of essential supplies, and the blockade makes it nearly impossible to get much-needed aid into Gaza." Meanwhile, in Israel, many are spending nights in bomb shelters as rocket fire from Hamas has reached major cities. While Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system intercepts most rockets, some do get through, causing destruction and panic. In response, Israel's military has launched a series of precision airstrikes aimed at neutralizing Hamas's military capabilities. Israeli officials claim they are targeting Hamas's leadership, rocket launching sites, and tunnels used by militants to move supplies and fighters. These airstrikes have severely damaged Hamas's infrastructure, but the group continues to fire rockets into Israel. Many experts say the conflict is entering a dangerous cycle of retaliation, with no immediate signs of de-escalation. The international community is calling for an immediate ceasefire, but so far diplomatic efforts have stalled. The United Nations, along with countries like Egypt and Qatar, are attempting to mediate between the two sides, though no concrete agreement has been reached. The United States, a key ally of Israel, has called for de-escalation while reaffirming Israel's right to defend itself. On the other hand, leaders from the European Union and Middle Eastern countries have urged both sides to return to peace talks and halt the violence. Protests have erupted around the world, from New York to London to Istanbul, with many people demanding an end to the bloodshed and raising concerns over the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. So what's next? While there are ongoing efforts to secure a ceasefire, many fear the conflict could spiral further. Previous ceasefires have been short-lived, with violence flaring up again after just a few weeks or months. The risk of further escalation is high. Both sides are dug in, and neither seems willing to back down without significant concessions. The international community may push for peace, but on the ground it's a much more complex situation. Beyond the immediate conflict, the long-term question remains: what will it take for lasting peace in the region? The roots of this conflict run deep, and without addressing the underlying political and territorial issues, it's difficult to see a resolution anytime soon. As the fighting continues, it's important to stay informed about what's happening on the ground. Civilians on both sides are paying the price for this conflict, and efforts for peace must continue. We'll keep you updated with the latest developments as they unfold. If you want to learn more about the history behind this conflict or what might happen next, check out our other videos on the topic. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next update.